Okay, so this problem would be appropriate for fourth graders. So our word problem says, Holly and her dog walked 3/4 of a mile yesterday. Today they walked 4/8 of a mile. How many total miles did Holly and her dog walk? So let's look at the important information. So we know that yesterday she walked 3/4 of a mile. And then today she walked 4/8 of a mile. So we want to know how many total miles Holly walked. So that means we're going to be using addition. So for this problem, we're going to use the linear model. So this 1 rod is going to equal our 1 mile. This is going to be our whole 1 mile. So we have to look at what she walked yesterday, and it says she walked 3/4 of a mile. So we look at our denominator, and we see that we need to break our whole into 4 equal-sized pieces. Okay, so this word problem would be appropriate for fourth graders. And our word problem says, Holly and her dog walked 3/4 of a mile yesterday. Today they walked 4/8 of a mile. How many total miles did Holly and her dog walk? So we're going to look at the important information first. So we know that yesterday Holly walked 3/4 of a mile. And then today she walked 4/8 of a mile. And we're asking how many total miles Holly walked. So that means we're going to add those two fractions together to figure out how many total miles she walked. So to do this word problem, we're going to be using the linear model. And this 1 rod is going to represent our 1 whole. This is our whole. And so we look at what she walked, her and her dog walked yesterday. It was 3/4 of a mile. So we look at our denominator and we see there's a 4. So we need to know that we need to break this whole into 4 equal-sized pieces. So we're going to use our yellow fraction tiles. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal-sized pieces. So then we can take our whole away because it's equivalent to 1 whole. But she only ran 3/4 of those miles. So we can take 1/4 away, but we're still left with 3/4 because we have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So then today she walked 4/8 of a mile. So we can bring our whole mile back out. And we see there's 8 in the denominator. So we need to break our whole into 8 equal-sized pieces. So we're going to use these red fraction tiles. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is equivalent to 1 whole mile. We can take our mile away. But we see that she only walked 4/8 of those miles. So we only need 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And take those away. So that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. 4/8. I'm sorry. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8 of a mile. A common misconception that students might have is if you asked which is bigger, 3/4 or 4/8, and they automatically might say 4/8 because the 8 is in the denominator is bigger. But we can clearly see here that if you put these next to each other, that the 3/4 is bigger than 4/8. So now for this word problem, we still have 3/4 and 4/8. But in order to add them, we need to have common denominators. So to do that, we need to figure out, make the denominators the same number. So if we look at our 4, we can do trial and error first, I guess, and we can see how many of these 1/8 pieces might fit and if they're equivalent. So if we put these up, we can see that these 1/8 pieces are equivalent to 3/4. So that means we can make our bottom number into an 8. So if we make our bottom 3/4, if we make our bottom number into an 8, what we do to the bottom, we also have to do the top. So that means it's going to be 6/8. And we see clear here that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/8 is equivalent to 3/4. So now we can take these away. And so now, since we have a common denominator of 6/8 plus 4/8, we can add them now. So we have 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 9/8, 10/8, 11/8. So our total would be 11/8. Or you could look at it whenever you get 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. You know that 8/8 equals 1 whole. So it could also be 1 whole and 2/8.